Guardians, it's Tizzle here, and in this video I'm going to be showing you how to beat the Lightblade GM. I did this solo all the way to the final phase of the boss, and then I died because I used my super at an inopportune time because I didn't know how the strike worked. So I decided to go on LFG and hop in a fire team, and then I figured, you know what? I know it from a solo perspective, and I now know it in a team perspective. So yeah, I will show you all the spawns and everything you need to know because most of you are going to be doing this in a team anyways. So let me go over the build. It's my necrotic dot build using Song of Flame because Song of Flame is goated for champions while in a super. And yeah, it's just really good. It gives you all your abilities back as well, which is key with my build because I'm using Bleak Watcher and Devour with Arcane Needles to spread my necrotic grip poison. So you can basically expend all your abilities and then pop a super, get them all back, and the same goes for Transcendence. So that's the essence of the build. I was 45 minutes solo when I got to the second phase of the boss, and yeah, so I decided to do it in a team, and it was 20 minutes with no mic, so pretty smooth run. So we have Faceted Balance. Basically, I'll just show you the things, but the purpose of most of these is to build light transcendence quickly so that we can always be transcendent, so we can always be throwing out arcane needles to spread poison. We've got Radiant with Facet of Dawn for 20% extra weapon damage, and then Faceted Protection for survivability. Rake Angle with Overflow Chill Clip. This thing is a monster. The glaives are really, really good in here, as you'll see. Also, when you get a glaive melee, you can spread the necrotic poison. But one thing I noticed is sometimes there's a bit of a cooldown. I actually died once because I hit it and the enemy was one shot and it didn't get poisoned for some reason. And I kind of just turned my back to it, assuming the poison would kill it. But that's just how Destiny goes. Le Monarch, both my teammates were also using Le Monarch. There is lots of long-range sight lines leading up to the boss, so it's really good. Also, it says there are overload champions in this strike. I did it on platinum and I never saw a single overload. I only saw unstoppables, so not sure what's up with that. But Le Monarch does have overload. Song of Your Ute, my machine gun also has overload. Necrotic grip. Oh, sorry. Did I miss the helmet? Basically, I just have Void Siphon and Heavy Ammo Finder. This is really good solo, especially because I get so much heavy ammo from Le Monarch. Focusing Strike, Impact Induction, Momentum Transfer, just things that feed back into my abilities. Arc Solar Void Damage Resistance. There's Void Snipers and it's Void Threat. Arc Scavenger, so when I pick up those Finder Bricks, I'm getting more heavy ammo. And then Innervation and Absolution for when I pick up orbs, I'm reducing my cooldowns. And then Outreach and Bomber and Proximity Ward on the class item. And then Volatile Marksman is great on Le Monarch because it can spread volatile. Then we have Hold the Line, which is nice for glaives and machine guns. I guess I didn't get it all off there, but Dreadful Finisher. I can't remember the ones I have in the final column. One is that machine gun one, and the other is the bolt charge one. So right away, there's just some acolytes to kill and an unstoppable ogre. Very, very simple. So I chuck out a Bleak Watcher to hopefully deal with the ogre. This is what I was doing solo, but in a team, it's much, much easier. So there's spawns in front of you to the right, and then another spawn further up to the right. And then there's 3 acolytes in that room. So there's actually like 12 acolytes in total at the start, but I just skipped by a bunch of them because you can play way different solo. I don't die in this run either. Because I was familiar with the strike where these guys probably weren't. I just found them on LFG. So here, always take out the acolytes first because they're actually the threat because you don't want them shooting at you while you deal with an unstoppable. And then, yeah, we stunned the unstop with our unstoppable glaive, which is, yeah, unstoppable glaive is awesome, except the failing shields are so freaking huge now that it's a pain in the ass to get them. Even if you do hit them in the foot, sometimes it doesn't register, but we do have chill clips, so if you kind of get 2 splash damage shots, you'll freeze the enemy anyways. Once you take out the acolytes, a bunch of thrall will spawn. So here, I'm just trying to bait them all together. You will notice the poison doesn't actually proc Devour, or it shouldn't. Normally it doesn't anyways. But yeah, you could see the glaive spreading all the poison, which is awesome. And then don't go too far ahead. Once you clear out that room completely, right there you could see the enemy spawn and it says a champion has appeared. So there's actually an unstoppable here. So don't forget about that. Like I said, this run was platinum. But yeah, you want to take your time with that. Here they all disperse. Normally they come down. I don't know. You can control enemies better in a fire team, obviously. But it is what it is. And yeah, you can see we just nuke that unstop. There was just 2 of us. I don't know what this ram guy was doing for half the strike. But anyways, he was just in the corner there. So sometimes this is a drain bane, but no big deal. These wizards are actually really easy to take out. So when I was solo, basically what you want to do, there's enemies on the left and right side of the room. So basically just clear everything. There's hive runes on the door, so all you have to do is kill all those channelers of the terror. And once you kill them all, you will be able to advance. That being said, I did try skipping one side on one of my solo runs. And one of the eyes on the far right side was just seeing me from literally every angle. And I died to times 20 suffocating terror. I think it's at like times 14 or 15 you start to take damage from suffocating terror. But yeah, anyways, it was so weird. I was on this left side, clearly behind cover. I had no sight line on an eye, but it killed me. Maybe that's just the game not working as intended. I have no idea. But yeah, basically I just took this side. And here you can see you can just face tank so much stuff with a glaive. I just love glaives. You all know that. So yeah, here I'm popping my super. So as a solo, I was getting so many supers because damage over time just really allows you to build up your super meter very, very quickly. Where I was a little more cautious in a fire team for when I would pop my super, because as a solo, you can just wait to trigger like a next ad phase, especially in boss room. And you could just like wait out your super, which had I known how the final boss room works at the time, I would have waited out my super before pushing. But it is what it is. So anyways, they took out the other eye on the other side, and you can see this door is open. So all those enemies, you don't have to kill them. But yeah, solo, I was getting tons of supers. And like I said, basically just pop super, spam all my abilities, pop transcendence, spam all my abilities. Pretty much by that point, I was getting a super back. I actually have strafe glide on here because on one of my runs, I died to the burst glide jump because I haven't played Destiny in a while. And yeah, I'm just a little more comfortable because you do have to jump left and right to take out these blights. And again, that will allow you to advance. But especially as a solo, I just sat back here. And when they were all grouped up, I was able to spread my necrotic. Here, I can't so much. But there's these invisible snipers. But Le Monarch is really nice because it keeps the tick damage on them, so you can kind of always see where they're at. So yeah, basically all you want to do here is take out all the enemies. You can see I'm playing a little more aggressively than I would as a solo. Solo, I would take everything out. Once you go down those steps, there's going to be an unstop that spawns up top. So I decided to run down first just to clear all the ads because normally I had my super for this part, but then I realized I didn't have my super, so I was like, oh shit, I should probably just take out the ads. And then here is the unstop. And yeah, again, also like sometimes if you kill them or stun them by freezing or ignitions, they just keep shooting you. It's been a thing for a while, but it is definitely still a thing. Not in that case, but just saying in general. So here we've taken everything out. So my teammate is actually going to go get this orb on right. So when I was solo, what I would do is right before I would take out the Blight, I would chuck a Bleak Watcher back. And then, so all these ads that are spawning, they'd start getting Bleak Watchered, and then I would just spread poison to them. But yeah, he took out that Blight, which is what triggers this spawn. So I was in mid, I had my super, so I was like, well, I might as well use it here because there's no real other opportunity to. You can see Ram is just at the back of the room. Again, not sure what that guy's doing. But yeah, random. But anyway, again, you can see Song of Flame is so freaking good for just taking everything out. And then we take out that guy. And yeah, this is where I died with my burst glide the one time. So like I said, what I would do, I probably do it here. Yeah, so I chuck that back. And then it's like 5 glaive shots. You could also use your machine gun. And then these blight things, like from the Hypernet Current Strike spawn in. You can shoot them to take them out. But because I was in a fire team, I was like, I'm just going to jump. But it doesn't take too much machine gun ammo. Maybe like 20 or 25 per thing. So if you want to risk it, you can just run by those like I just did there. But as a solo, I was taking them out. So once those are both done, you can move up to here. So again, I get the poison on that first guy. And again, normally I always have a super by this point when I'm solo, but that doesn't apply here. But I do have my Transcendence. So again, what I want to be doing is just like spamming all my abilities. Once you move up, you get this, what's he called? What are those guys called? Anyways, that stasis guy, I can't think of their names right now. And there's attendants and weavers and stuff. So I just pop Transcendence. And then, yeah, because my teammates were in here, the enemies were kind of aggroed to them. Normally I can come up here and deal with all the enemies at once, but these guys had snuck down, but no big deal. We just come back. Subjugator, that's the word I'm looking for. So basically what you want to do is take out all the enemies first like I did. You could see I snuck up that side and I was taking them all out. And then at half health, so he's got a name and it's something of Custodian of Terror. So when he's right between the O and the F, that's like exactly half health bar, there's going to be another spawn of enemies. These guys are really, really tanky, which is why this necrotic grip build is so nice. As a solo, I think I got out of this room at about 27 minutes. So pretty long. But in a fire team, obviously, you can use supers. Somebody might have weaken. You can burn this guy down much quicker. So this actually works really good. You can see he's just about at half. And I know there's about to be an ad spawn, and I'm just getting ready to get my super. So I chuck out a Bleak Watcher before I get it, and then we're just going to snap on everything. And that's going to be spreading poison as well because of necrotic. And yeah, just igniting stuff. It's just an excellent super. In a fire team, you could use, it is Arc and Void Surge, so you could use Nova Bomb or Storm Trance. I really love my Crown of Tempest build, so in a fire team, I would maybe use that. But as a solo, for sure, I recommend the damage over time build. Here, yeah, I got really lucky not to get exploded by those crystals. I did die that way once when I was doing my solo runs. I was like way above it, but they have like crazy AoE. So now some eyes spawn in. There's one left, middle, and right. The one in the middle, I think, is tied to the Subjugator. But then, yeah, these enemies spawn in. So basically what you do, you can still just stay hiding. This guy moves to a really inconvenient location, though. So I do have to push up. But sometimes he's in a spot where you can just get him from behind that rock where I was standing. But again, in a fire team, it's no big deal to push up. We're going to take everything out. And then there's still the eye on the other side. And again, always take out the other enemies first, because that's what's going to kill you, like the red bar ads and stuff. Once they're all dead, then we can go ahead and deal with this other wizard on the right-hand side. The one problem with the bow is, yeah, it does have that draw time. Turns out they took out the guy on the far side. So yeah, as I was like falling back, I couldn't shoot that guy in time. Now some other enemies are going to spawn in, including an ogre coming up here. So we're just going to take out basically everything, and ads do spawn behind you as well. So we get this new objective, defeat the taken ogre. And yeah, so they spawn on either door, I believe. And you can see I'm getting shot from behind, but luckily I'd put that healing rift down. So those scions spawn. So it's probably best to, when I was solo, I was always just using my Song of Flame here to take them all out. And I don't know if it's because I took too long to kill the ogre, but one time I literally had 2 of these enemy spawns. We'll see if we get 2 on this run. I can't remember. It could have just been me taking too long. I'm not sure. I don't know exactly when those guys spawn in, but just be aware that they are going to spawn when that ogre spawns in. So that was a really good T-crash by Ram because we do want to just delete this ogre. And then, yeah, there was some more enemies, so maybe that was a second spawn. I don't know for sure. Yeah, being that there was a scion down here. So there was a second spawn. I can't remember exactly when on the health bar they spawn in. But yeah, just keep your head on a swivel. Be listening to your surroundings because you will hear them spawn in as well. Now I'm just checking for ammo. Ammo situation's good. This next part, again, solo, takes a really long time because there's like 7 shriekers and a really tanky boss. And yeah, so this part is very tedious solo. Also, necrotic grip doesn't seem to work on shriekers, much like threshers, so that's annoying. So I was trying to get the Shrieker to open up. Maybe I had to start shooting first. So there is this angle right here. You can see I'm shooting the Shrieker and it can't shoot me. So that's a really good spot to take out the one Shrieker. And then the other Shrieker, there's kind of an okay spot, but sometimes you hit like an invisible wall. But you can see my teammates there took out the other one. So yeah, that's one thing that's so nice about running these in a fire team is everything just goes so much quicker. And you can like play a little more aggressively as well, which I always enjoy. There, I have some special ammo. So this is why I love overflow, like 16 in the mag. So all my shots are going to be applying chill clip. Here comes an unstoppable. There's one on each side. So there's an unstoppable left and an unstoppable right. And after you take out a certain amount of Shriekers, I think it's 4, because there was 2 that are even further down. That is when you're going... See, there. I get the ignition stun, and then he's like still targeting me and blocking me with the shield. Like, why is he not stunned? That's super annoying. So anyways, once you take out that second set of Shriekers, you're going to get these Dire Knights that spawn in. Glaives are really good, or the chill clip glaive anyways. And then here, these guys are super, super tanky. So what Ram should have done was posted up. Well, we should be taking out that Shrieker far right. And then we could post up there with the rally barricade because he's on Storm's Keep. And then we could be doing a bunch of damage. But that just, when you're in a fire team, that communication is just so much smoother, right? So here we're just trying to take them out slowly. I'm just going to speed this up because literally these bosses are just super tanks, like super squishy, high health. So there, we get the stun, we get the radiant. Sometimes radiant, your needle will actually hit the shield, which is also really annoying because then it doesn't apply radiant. I'm not sure if it applies the poison, but yeah, you won't get radiant if you hit the shield. Luckily, somebody took out the Shrieker on right, so now we're free to stand up here, and like I said, he put his barricade down. This is a great spot, and we can just post up here and shoot behind it. So hopefully he puts another one down when it's off cooldown. I put a rift, assuming he's going to come over here and put it in the same spot that he did, but he actually just puts it over to the right. So it is what it is. Again, I'm just going to speed this up. So yeah, it's a little behind me. Maybe it was in the rift. And yeah, I just keep trying to apply my arcane needles as well for that poison dot damage. Also the unravel. Like, don't underestimate how much damage that does. On that Subjugator, when I was solo, I was getting so much free damage just standing behind the rock. It was great. So here, my teammates actually go to the right side thinking they have to kill that other super tanky guy, but you do not. And now that I've beat the strike, it's not like he spawns in the boss room if you leave him or whatever. Do not worry about that other guy. Just get one down, that side's door opens, and then you can just go out that side like you can see me doing here. So I deal with the unstop. There's just a couple of these orange bar acolytes, and then we're on to the next part, which is the bridge. So the bridge has Grim, and it has husks. Now, there's a ton of husks, but there's a rally flag at the boss. So I was like super liberal with my machine gun ammo. Here I'm just like tripping the mines, but I didn't need to. I could have just kept advancing, but I kind of wanted to wait for my teammates. So what you want to do is take out all the Grim, which we're doing, and then the husks start to come up. So yeah, use your supers, use all your heavy. It doesn't matter because there's a rally flag. So that's basically what I do here. And then even when you think they're done, there's like 8 more waiting for you at the rally flag. So just be cautious of that. So I throw out my Bleak Watcher, and then I'm going to pop my super. Maybe I should have waited till I was further up here to pop my super, because I probably could have got more mileage out of it. I could have been using my machine gun up there, especially because I had my Bleak Watcher, but it doesn't matter too much. Song of Flame lasts an eternity, as you can see, and we take out all the husks in the end. And then here you can see there's a whole bunch more. So I'm just going to throw down my thing. Somehow I don't die. Not sure how. And then, yeah, I'm just going to go in with my machine gun because we're about to get a rally flag. So, yeah, just take them all out. Easy peasy. Lay down the rally flag. Not sure what Ram's doing this time. I don't know if he went back for that tangle or what, but you jump down here. So the beginning of this boss fight is very, very easy. Again, I could have probably popped a super to advance this quicker, but I didn't know. Again, I don't know how hard my teammates are going to go. And then I may not have my super for when I need it. So at about a quarter health, we get an ad spawn here. So I'm just going to speed up a little bit because it's really just us chipping the damage. And yeah, you can see before we get to the letters. So yeah, that is about a quarter health, I would say. And now we're going to get this ad spawn. So there are 2 Channeler of Terrors. So as solo, you have to get 1 down very quickly. So here's where I pop my Song of Flame. You need 1 because like both eyes are going to be looking at you. And then, yeah, that other guy was a Drain Bane, so that can be really, really dangerous solo. But again, if I had popped my super, I'd be a lot safer. And again, the reason I'm not popping is just because I wasn't in communication with my teammates, so I wasn't going to chance anything. But we could have sped this boss fight up had I popped. There's orbs on the ground, so that would have been really nice to pick up those orbs as well. So now, once you get to half health, there's this Thrall spawn, and this part is fairly easy, to be honest, especially with like Bleak Watcher. It slows everything down. You've got your glaive, so you can just block, and this boss also moves very, very slow. It's not like Light Blade, where you really have to keep moving all the time. Like, this guy is very slow. So my teammates took out the other Thrall. As a solo, it was like a little more hectic, but not a big deal. I just popped my Transcendence. So super pop for the 2 eyes to take those guys out quickly, and then Transcendence for that next phase. And then what you want here is you want to build up Transcendence again. So when I was solo, I saw these Channelers pop in, so I popped my super. That was the wrong move. What I should have done was pop Transcendence like I do here, because they're only orange bars, so they're actually relatively easy to take out. And if you can get Devour going, this part's going to be just fine solo, and you're going to need your super for the next part. So watch what happens here. I still have like so much Transcendence left, so yeah, this is where I wound up dying, because I had popped my super and I had Transcendence, where now I knew, so I would have had, so I used Transcendence and then I have my super. So watch what happens here. There is an unstop that spawns in, and the boss is back to full health. So that unstop, I was having trouble stunning him because of the giant shield and my glaive and whatever. And there's husks and these guys. So yeah, basically here I got lucky because the unstop wasn't even really around me. And you can see my teammates just like absolutely melting the boss. So there's the unstop. So you can see it's a lot less hectic in a fire team. I'm not sure exactly where the unstop always spawns, but basically you're going to want to spawn kill it basically. There I was taking a ton of damage. So in this phase, the boss gets that flame attack, which really, really hurts. As you can see, I was taking a ton of damage, so that's why I popped my super. And then at half health again, he is going to spawn in another wave of unstops right here. So now I have no super, and you can see there's a bunch of Thrall. So this is a little sketchy, but we got Devour going. So yeah, you can see it's just so much more calm as a solo, or when you're not solo. So there, I was like blocking all that fire damage, and it blocks it like super easily. He also has his Taken Boomer that's void, and that was doing a bunch of damage. There is an unstop to my left. So yeah, basically it's just the exact same spawn again. And so if you were solo, basically before you get to half health, just wait out a super. And then I'm not sure if there's another spawn because he did a T-crash to finish him off. But yeah, honestly, pretty chill. Just like one unstop, a couple husks, and some taken scions and stuff. So really chill, 21-minute run. It's way quicker in a fire team. Solo, like I said, it was like 45 minutes when I died at second phase. So it would have been like a 50-minute solo GM. You can see that in necrotic build, getting all that damage over time and that spreading of the poison. I was able to get like really, really high kill count. But yeah, that's it. I just figured it would help. I was very curious. It's not often you get a new strike in Destiny, so I wanted to come check it out. But because I died at the boss room, I knew all the strats, so I figured I would just do a team one to get the information out to you guys. So I hope you enjoyed. Hope it was informative. And yeah, I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.